Well, good evening, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this March the 16th, 2025. I'm hoping everybody had a great Sunday out there so far. Everybody has a great Sunday evening. Hope everybody can stay safe and well, and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Okay, in tonight's video, we're going to be looking at the storm system here, the one that brought all the severe weather to the portions of the central U.S. all the way to the East Coast. And we're looking at another one. You see the system here back over into portions of the western U.S. over here around Washington, Oregon State, Idaho, and also a little bit over here in California region. Expect another little bit of a severe weather outbreak in portions of the central U.S. and will continue to push eastbound later this week. So would not be surprised. Right now the Storm Prediction Center has nothing but just low probabilities at this time. But maybe a little bit later on it will change. So, and also we got your local forecast included, also the current watch and warn advisory map. Also we're going to take a look at the storm report that came in this afternoon, and also take a look at the overview from the Storm Prediction Center as well. And also we're going to take a look at our local radar here from Columbia, South Carolina. So stick around to the entire video. Make sure you subscribe if you have not already. And if you know anybody want to join the Mike Bass Weather Forecast channel, send them over to my channel. Tell them to subscribe to my channel, and I will keep them up to date with the local weather forecast as well. Alright, so let's go ahead and get the show on the road there, folks. Alright, as you can see here is that low pressure system over southeast Canada. Here's that trailing cold front stretching all the way back into the southeast. You can see that little skinny line of cloud. That's pretty much the cold frontal boundary pushing off to the east. You can see the prefrontal precipitation well off to the Atlantic coastal water across South Florida, stretching into the northeastern U.S. You can see a little bit of activity towards St. John's Island, a little bit in the Atlantic coastal water, scattered activity over South America. And these are the two systems here we're going to have to watch later this week as it continues to funnel moisture into the central and eastern U.S. But right now, currently we're expecting some mixed precipitation and snowfall pretty much out in the western U.S. and portions of the central and northern U.S. as well. So we'll take a look at that in your local forecast. Let's go ahead and head on over there right now. And we're going to take a look at your Monday forecast now. As you can see, we got some mixed precipitation, freezing rain in Maine, more mixed precipitation from Vermont to New York State, portion of Pennsylvania, stretching from West Virginia into eastern Tennessee, western North Carolina. Shower activity from New Hampshire to Rhode Island, down to New Jersey, Delaware area as well, coastal waters. Also along the outer banks of North Carolina, eastern North Carolina, and the PD region of South Carolina and the coastal waters. Also we got some critical fire weather problem. Can't get it out there, but there it is right here. For portions of Texas, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Colorado region. And then we got snow up here in areas of northern Michigan, up here around Lake Superior, and also into portions of Minnesota as well, in northern Wisconsin. Alright, we got some freezing rain in portions of Minnesota, stretching into North Dakota. We got the mixed precipitation like I was just talking about in the beginning of the video, stretching from Minnesota to the Dakotas, to Montana, to Wyoming, to Colorado, to Utah, all the way down into Arizona, Nevada, also Washington, Oregon State, Idaho, in the California region. Pockets of heavy snow in portions of the California mountains, also in portions of Wyoming and also Montana. Then we got some thunderstorms and showers in California, and then more shower activity along coastal areas of California, all the way up to Washington, Oregon State, and also in the eastern Pacific Ocean as well. A little bit of shower and thunderstorm activity down across southeast Florida and the Florida Keys. Otherwise, expect dry high pressure to remain in charge of your local forecast area for your Monday. Now here's your Tuesday forecast. You can see we got some mixed precipitation portion of New Brunswick to Maine. Shower activity stretching south of there, in the Atlantic coastal waters. Also over toward Rhode Island, eastern Connecticut region areas as well. Some shower activity there. Alright, we got some thunderstorms and shower from northern Michigan to Wisconsin, to Illinois, to Iowa, to Missouri, to Kansas, to portion of Oklahoma. Freezing rain over portions of northern Wisconsin, northern Michigan, northwestern Michigan region as well, around the Lake Superior area. We got areas of mixed precipitation there, stretching through Minnesota, all the way down to New Mexico, back over toward Montana, Idaho, and Washington, Oregon State. Shower activity along coastal areas of Washington, Oregon State, and a little bit inland areas as well. Some heavy snow portions of Colorado and Wyoming as well. Otherwise, expect the dry high pressure to remain in charge of your local forecast area for your Tuesday. Alright, let's move on to your Wednesday forecast. The current watches warning advisory map for your location across the nation. Alrighty, we got a colorful map here across the area once again. As you can see, we got a little bit of flood watches in effect for portion of New York, over here portion of Vermont, New York State, also portion of Southeast Virginia. Got a bunch of aerial flood advisories for portion of Northeast North Carolina, also along the Virginia, West Virginia line there as well. You even got a tornado watch for a few counties in Northern Virginia. Wind advisory is also in effect for portions of Vermont and the New York State, stretching down toward eastern Pennsylvania, also into areas of Delaware, and also eastern Maryland, New Jersey area as well, in D.C. We got a lot of river flood warnings going on in this area as well, from portions of Kentucky to portions of Tennessee to Arkansas to Mississippi, also into portions of Alabama, Louisiana, a little bit along the Louisiana-Texas coast, a little bit of activity, some aerial flood advisories over portions of Georgia. Got a couple severe thunderstorm warnings along that frontal boundary, bringing some gusty winds up to 60 miles an hour and large hail with that system. Also have some special weather statements in portions of South Carolina as well, and an aerial flood advisory for southeastern North Carolina regions as well. We got one tornado warning down here in portion of Florida, special weather statements for central and south Florida, special marine warning along coastal areas there as well. We even got a severe thunderstorm warning up in Pennsylvania and also New York State. Hydro issues over northern Michigan. Also we got red flag warnings for the following states. This includes South Dakota, Nebraska, Missouri, areas of Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, also in areas of New Mexico and Colorado. We have winter storm watches in effect for portions of Nebraska and Kansas over in a portion of Iowa. Special weather statements for Iowa, Nebraska, South and North Dakota. Also we have winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings for the following states: northern Michigan, northern Minnesota, northern North Dakota, portions of areas of Montana, also Idaho, Wyoming, I'll say Utah, California, Washington, and Oregon State. High wind warning is also in effect for the following states. This includes Texas, New Mexico, areas of Wyoming, Montana, portion of Idaho, Oregon State, Nevada, and California, with wind advisories there in that region as well, and also some more flood watches and flood warnings in effect for portion of Oregon. Alrighty, well, we got small craft advisory, gale warnings stretching from Maine to the east coast of Florida, then from the west coast of Florida to the southern Louisiana coast, and then from California region near the Baja area, California, all the way up to areas of Washington State. Got some small craft advisory, gale warnings there as well. Alaska, the Hawaiian Chain Island looks good, so some wind advisories to the south, and also some freeze and spray warnings and small craft advisory around the Alaska region. Alright, let's move on to the Storm Prediction Center overview page here. As you can see here, we do have there's that slight risk stretching from Florida all the way up into portions of Pennsylvania, also up to New York State. Marginal risk there as well to the Carolinas and North Florida. You can see the activity on the radar here. You can see it coming from Florida all the way up into southeast Canada. There's that snow and rain from Minnesota back over towards Washington, Oregon State, Montana, Oregon, and California regions. But here's that frontal boundary will continue to push away from the region, and the severe weather will continue to end from west to east. Alright, let's move on to the convective outlook. You can see it a little better. There's that marginal risk in the green, slight risk in the yellow shaded colors. The current watches right now, we have watches for Pennsylvania stretching into West Virginia with that tornado watch. MDS discussion, talking about the current watches here. They may issue a tornado watch or a severe thunderstorm watch possible in Virginia and North Carolina ahead of that cold frontal boundary. Storm report that came in this afternoon. So far we had 0 tornado reports for today. That's a different story than yesterday. Wind reports, we had 266, 3 of them was high. They stretched from northern Florida, southeast Georgia, North Carolina, Kentucky, West Virginia, stretching all the way through West Virginia, Pennsylvania, all the way up into New York State. Hail report, we had 14 of them. They pretty much took place up in this area as well, across portions of Pennsylvania, New York State, and West Virginia regions. And total was 280. Would not be surprised to see a few more added. The current fire weather for today still elevated across Texas, also through areas of Nebraska, Kansas, also in the portion of Colorado, up into the South Dakota region as well. Alright, and finally, for our locals here in South Carolina, you can see here's a line, here's that frontal boundary. Here's that severe thunderstorm warning up around Wadesboro, just east of Albemarle. This is that storm that's producing damaging winds and some large hail. You can see up around Lancaster, South Carolina to Camden, some pockets of heavy rain, maybe a few thunderstorms moving to the northeast. Also to Orangeburg, back down toward Valdosta, and then along coastal areas from Beaufort to Charleston to Georgetown up to Myrtle Beach. All this is racing on off to the east northeast. There's a special marine warning in the coastal waters as well. You can see a little bit of scattered activity around Asheville, west of Asheville, and also North Carolina, and also a little bit eastern Tennessee. But most of this activity will continue to push eastbound, and you can see on the radar the activity is across this region here as it continues to push out to the east northeast. Alright, well, I hope everybody enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe if you have not. We'll catch you back in the next video, so have a wonderful Sunday evening, folks. Take care, and also enjoy the weather, because it's the only weather you got. And I'll have more on that upcoming severe weather for this week as well.